This goes out to all the women in the world, especially her. You know it don't even matter your age, don't even matter your color. Your fellas, I ain't forget about y'all. This is for everybody that like things. Just listen to what I'm saying and do it and take a chance. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind. Just get on the floor like I said before. Y'all remember that down low? Just put a little dip with it. Now roll those hips with it. Pop it, push it, rock it, roll it. Can't control it, I come hold it. It's all in fun, so take a chance. Just get on the floor and do that dance, y'all. I know you like it, so don't try to fight it. Turn around, baby, let me see you from the back. Yeah, I like it like that. Get up now, roll those hips. Drop down, double up on those dips. Freak nasty, wanna see, can y'all do it right? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind. Back again with the second verse. It's all clean, so I'm not gonna curse. Dropping bass like a bad habit. Love all women, cause I gotta have it. Coming at y'all in stereo. I'm riding that thing like a rodeo. Hang on, baby, cause the ride is rough, and I got my girls in the front. Now and later, just bumping that rump. Raise it up, let me see that brown. Slap it, girl, make it jiggle around. Round and round that rump goes. Where it stop, yo, no one knows, yeah. Freak nasty, wanna see, can y'all do this right? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind.
Well, all right, y'all. All right, y'all. If you ain't dipping, you must be tripping. If you ain't doing it down low, gots to go. Gots to go. To the people that moving slow, just moving slow. Yo, DJ, pump it up some more.
It's off to the show in a limo. Before the show, I gotta get that dough. Pay them girls what they work. Slip that money under that skirt. Take it off, baby, let me see. You might get a little more Lucci. G-string, having oh so much fun. Playing inside between them buns. Shawty got it going on like Marvin. Teasing me and she know I'm starving. Lick you up, then lick you down. I ain't finished, girl, turn around. Lick you up and down your back, cause I'm that freak, I'm freaky like that. Freak nasty, wanna see, can y'all do this right? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind. I'm setting it off to another level. You digging freak nasty without a shovel. This is my world, I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. So what's up, yo DJ? When the party's getting slow, join this jam and watch that flow get taken over like in '94 when I had the whole world getting down low. New Orleans born, ATL living. Freak nasty is what I'm giving. My juice is sweet like Georgia peaches. Women suck it up like leeches. It feels so good, you must admit you like this. Shh, yeah, y'all know the song. So come on, won't you sing it? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip.
I'm muted. I'm boomering over here.
Oh, no. Oh, no, it happens with age.
Boomering. Where is the mic not? Dude, a little while ago, I remember when Jack Hibbs was promoting that David movie. One of the top replies on Twitter was some old boomer like, "Why can't I share this to Facebook? Why can't I retweet to the Facebooks? I want to show my nephew the movie."
Is that relevant to our first topic?
I don't know.
Oh, geez.
So I saw, just before I went live, I saw a bunch of people talking about the government again, like, oh, we're going to declassify aliens. And I'm like, okay, so here's my stance on this. Do I think aliens are real? Absolutely. I think it's absurd to look at the size and scope of the known universe and think, yeah, there's probably only one small planet with life. Seems ridiculous to me. Do I think aliens have visited Earth? I don't know. I'm less sure about that. There's no small amount of evidence to suggest they have, but I'm not all in on that. But what I do think is that I want the fucking Epstein files declassified.
Oh, you'll get
That's
the
what I
aliens
do
long
think.
before you'll get the Epstein. You'll get the aliens long before Epstein comes out. At this point,
Maybe the aliens don't come down and land here because all our leaders worship the devil and rape kids. I wouldn't want to land there either.
maybe the aliens are angels.
Maybe they just have a different name for the devil, but they're looking at it like, whoa, you see what they're doing? You see what their leaders are doing?
I myself lack belief in aliens. I'm not opposed to them existing. I just want more evidence for them.
See, I'm kind of that way on like aliens coming to Earth. Like, I think there's evidence to suggest that has indeed happened. But I'm not like 100%. I'm not all in on that. But I just look at the size and scope of the universe, and I'm like, I don't know. Even from a religious standpoint, I don't believe a universe this big is built around one tiny planet.
If nothing else, would just make things a lot more complicated.
Yeah, but I mean, the world's complicated. You know, like
enough as it is.
Don't try to just dismiss things because you can't fit them in a box. I try not to do that. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I can't fit all this together in a neat little fucking worldview box. And it's like, yeah, because I'm just this little fucking dude trying to make sense of the unimaginable with my little 3-dimensional primate brain. Like, of course I can't.
Yeah, there are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy, and that's true for poetry and reality.
So, yeah, that's my stake on it. There's, the aliens and land. I'm like, that's great and all, but like, our leaders are raping kids. So I'm a little bit more concerned about that. Like, let's, if the aliens are coming, I'd like to get our house in order before we have guests.
Very valid point. Valid point.
That's my take on it. It's like, we were visited by aliens. I'm like, that's cool. That's great. I want to talk about that later. But for right now, there's something else on my mind.
Can we talk to the aliens right now? No.
Can the aliens help me arrest the people on the Epstein list? Can they do that? If they come down there like, we've come to kill your leaders, I'm like, oh, thank God. I'll be pulling up a map of like, Washington's here, Harrisburg's right here. Like, do you need directions? So it was Star Wars Day, Luke.
Oh yeah, May 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. It was Soy Wars Day. I, of course, watched the Eric Butts reaction to the episode 9 trailer because I make a pilgrimage to that every Star Wars Day. The great. So I actually went viral. So once again on Twitter, people were.
Oh, now what'd you do?
Once again on Twitter, people are like, Red Letter Media convinced us the prequels aren't good. And I'm like, are we doing this again?
Really?
Because like I lived through it. Okay, I was 16 when episode 1 came out. I lived through this shit. They were not liked at the time. Each one was better received than the last. I would go so far as to say maybe you could even say episode 3 was generally well liked. Episode 1, at least, not at all. Like the guy, Jar Jar Binks, like the voice actor or whatever, and I think he did mocap for it. And the little kid that played Anakin, like the backlash ruined their lives. That's how bad that movie was. Okay, like, and you're sitting here like, no, Red Letter. I've never watched Red Letter Media in my fucking life, Luke. Never watched a whole episode. Every clip I've seen, and I can't even explain it, those guys rub me the wrong way, so I've never bothered to watch it. Because there's no shortage of other fucking nerds out there who are analyzing media. So I've never fucking watched them. So it's pretty amazing that they made me hate episode 1 when I've never fucking watched them.
Yeah, it's I only knew of them because of episode 1 stuff. Like apparently they had a long following. I never heard of them until then.
Yeah, I just never had any interest in it. Yeah, and it's like, I mean, I remember reading, like, again, I had subscriptions like Maxim and Wizard and, Bro Culture and Nerd Culture, and they were shitting on it. You know, like there's tons of jokes you can find from like TV and movies at the time of people like, man, episode 1 sucked. Like it doesn't. And look, I understand if you like it, fine. I like the Green Lantern movie, okay, but I'm not going to act like it was all real. It was really well received until 3 weeks ago when Doug Walker made us hate it. Like that's ridiculous. Like I don't. I don't know. Honestly, you know, if George Lucas would have just taken, what was it like there was like a series of like books or something that took place after the original trilogy where like Luke had like a redhead wife. I think it was like Shadows of the Empire or some shit. If they would have just adapted that shit into movies back like 25 years ago before all the cast was either old as dirt or dead, that probably would have been really well received. Like, prequels in general are never a particularly great idea, in my humble opinion. I mean, they can be done well, but like rarely. I mean, there's just something of it just you can't really do a lot of the times with them. But I don't know. I don't even like Star Wars that much to begin with. That's the thing with me. The original trilogy is okay. It's fine. I look at the original trilogy as being like 2.5 or 1.5 great movies and 1.5 good movies. I think Empire's great. I think the first half of Jedi is great. I think the second half of Jedi is good. I think New Hope is good.
Yeah, when I first saw, I loved them when I first saw them. I enjoyed them. Of course, I had no criticism of them at the time.
I honestly think the first time I really sat down and watched them in their entirety, I was probably like 12 or 13. Like they'd been out for a while. Like I just knew of them constantly and seen bits and pieces. But the first time I made a conscious decision to really just sit down and watch them, it might have been when the new ones were coming out. Like the new editions. Remember in like 97 or something, they released like updated editions. But I remember around that time, I did sit and watch the original ones because my cousin just had them on tape. So like Star Wars was just fresh in everybody's mind. I was like, well, I guess I'll sit down and really watch them. And I was like, these are fine, I guess. I don't really understand why people wanted to build their whole fucking life around it, but it's fine. Like, there's a lot of other like sci-fi fantasy movies from that time, like the late 70s, early 80s, that I think are just way better. Like I think Alien 1 and 2 mogs Star Wars.
Oh, yes.
I think the Predator movie mogs Star Wars. I think RoboCop mogs Star Wars. I think Ghostbusters mogs Star Wars. Ghostbusters especially. Like, tons of just late 70s into the 80s sci-fi that I'm like, just way better. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. And these fucking Zoomers and the young millennials that are like, you know, oh yeah, there's a big divide between the young and old millennials. I think there's a huge divide between a 93 and an 83 baby. More so even than like a 73 and an 83 baby. Maybe even more so than a 93 and a 2003 baby. Like I'm a Ninja Turtles millennial, not a SpongeBob millennial, you know, and I think there's a huge difference there. But yeah, I remember not liking episode 1 at all. I was like 16. I'm like, wow, this is bad.
Speaking there's a lot of YouTube AI content on Twitter. Well, you just mentioned Alien, and there's an AI of a Chinese girl cooking a xenomorph.
I'm not
like chopping it. It's like chopping it up and cooking it.
Oh, what was the other thing I kind of had a big tweet today for? There's another batch of like conservative thoughts that are going around saying like men can't play video games.
What?
Yeah, that kind of shit.
What?
You know, it's not attractive when men play video games. It's loser shit. And I'm like, first of all, it's 2026. You're hard pressed to find a man that doesn't play video games. I mean, at the very least, you're going to find a dude that's playing like the gun and ball video games. Okay,
First of all, it's just, I mean, yeah, girls are sexy regardless of what they're doing, but what doesn't mean that guys can't do it. It's just like women have always been doing this.
No, it's like guys can't play it because they're losers. That was the argument.
What should we be doing instead?
Well, I made the point. I sent this tweet. I'm like, look, man, I got dragged a few months ago. My famous fucking, talking about my evangelical girlfriend and shit for pointing out that church girls are like this. They fucking can't stand it when you have the only hobby church girls are okay with you having is watching sports ball, and they barely let you do that. Like, we pointed this out numerous times on this channel, that it's just you're a beast of burden in the fucking evangelical church if you're a man. It's the worst of both worlds. You're somehow expected to be in charge, but with none of the perks or power.
Yeah, it's always back and forth. Like it's always a no-win situation. It's like people have always been pointing this out, like not just you but everyone else. Like it's like the joke of like when I know there's a bad example, but MGTOW, like someone had the analogy of using like the Lord of the Rings characters. Like they have Frodo and they have Samus, and Frodo is the adventurous, but he's considered a loser. He's being irresponsible, and Samus is looked at as a lazy bum because a lazy loser because he's actually having a family. So he loses men lose either way.
Yeah. I understand there's a lot of gamers that take shit way too fucking far. That's true, but that's certainly true of like the sports ball people, and certainly nobody in the church calls them out on that shit. When's the last time you've heard being completely fucking obsessed with sports ball called out from the pulpit?
Oh, never.
Can you even think of a time, Luke? Maybe I've heard it once.
Ever. I'm a pastor's kid. I've heard sermons my whole life, and I never, ever heard that.
Okay, so how many times have you heard men are losers for playing video games? I'm not even going to bring up comic books because it's so niche that I think preachers barely know those exist. But video game. How many times have you heard a preacher from the pulpit, which means he's supposed to be speaking for God? By the way, that's another pet peeve. I don't want to hear your opinion from the pulpit. I want to hear you as best as you can telling me what God said, telling me what the Bible said. So how many times have you seen somebody from the pulpit talking about men shouldn't play video games? I couldn't even count how many. And not just boomers, like you expect it from boomers, because like boomers are confused and frightened by anything that didn't exist when they were 17. But like younger guys, like guys my age or younger, like, well, you're a loser if you play in video games. And I understand that a lot of gamers take shit too far. Absolutely. Completely agree. A lot of gamers need to fucking go read a book or something, go outside, touch grass, nerd. But that's not everybody. And guys are allowed to have hobbies. Okay.
It's like what was the creator of BioShock once said? Most video game people have seen one movie and read one book in their entire life, which is Lord of the Rings and Aliens. And there's some good stuff in there, but you need some variety.
Well, I mean that's more. It's more movies than most evangelicals have seen.
Well, yeah.
No, we're not counting Fireproof.
Or any of the Christian movies. Have you heard about the backlash of Angel Studios?
No, I saw that they were okay. So I saw they were paying a bunch of people on Twitter to promote their shit, but like sneakily doing that little shit where it's like, there was one, and I unfollowed her for this because fuck off with it. But there was somebody who used to follow the Redheads Libertarian, and she's just like, I just love Angel Studios. Their movies are so good. I love them. You should all go. And it says like paid partnership under it. It's like, fuck off. Like, eat shit with that, man. Like,
yeah, apparently, well, I mean, especially with the whole Animal Farm thing, Angel Studios was apparently just a distributor, and they weren't really involved in the creative process. The problem is, it's actually been, I didn't realize this, but it's actually been a recurring theme for of this bigger stuff. Like, even what they're known for, like The Chosen, that's actually caught up in litigation because they're actually, they don't really have the rights to it, but it's kind of stuck in litigation now.
I forgot about their Animal Farm. They have some like shit lib fucking woke Animal Farm where it's like, they try to twist Animal Farm into capitalism bad.
Yes, and everyone is seeing how terrible and awful it is.
Oh god! and their claim to fame was that fucking there was some movie about like somebody like stopping child predators or something like
Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom. And like this was the most cynical. Like, I'm sorry, man. I didn't see Sound of Freedom. Maybe it's a very good movie. I don't know. But here's my take. I don't like to be told to go see important movies. I don't like that. When you're like, you should go see it because it's important. What do you mean it's important? I want to watch a movie. Is it entertaining? It's important, bro. Really, you're really fighting for a cause when you watch it. No, I'm not. I'm sitting on my fat ass, drinking way too much Pepsi, watching a movie. Don't tell me I'm fighting for a cause. Don't blow smoke up my ass. I'm watching a movie. Is the movie good? And again, I don't know. Maybe it's good, but nobody was telling me that. They were telling me I need to go see it because I'm going to save children or something when I do it. And I'm like, I don't believe you. I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
So anyways, I never saw that movie. The point is, though, I remember, boy, what a marketing ploy that was. Because a lot of other people do fall for that shit. A lot of other people want to be told when they're sitting on their fat ass drinking a Pepsi, watching a movie, that they're doing something, that this is activism or whatever else. They love that shit. A lot of people eat that up. And that's why Sound of Freedom made $1 bajillion and put Angel Studios on the map.
Oh yeah, and they like the one YouTuber I really like following is the real life fake wizard. He was pointing out how when he went to go see the movie, like he actually went to go see Animal Farm in the theater, and the theater seats were showing like when how you pre-select your seats these days, where you have to choose beforehand. And when he went there, it was pretty full, but when we went to the theater, it was empty. And that's what's interesting because Angel Studios and the other things like they've done, they've been promoting this idea of you can buy tickets for other people who don't get a chance to see it. And he's speculating that, are these tickets going to these empty theater seats?
Fireproof did that a lot. Like, yeah, there were churches that just bought out whole blocks of tickets and they gave them out, but they didn't. Not all of them got given out. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there was a lot of that shit with Fireproof. Disney pulled a little bit of that shit with Captain Marvel.
I can imagine.
Or Disney just and there was like real speculation that this was almost like getting into like fraud towards the shareholders and all, but they were like trying to use their own money to inflate the fucking ticket sales and shit. Chet says, wasn't Super Mario Galaxy important? Well, I mean, it was, yes, obviously. I was really fighting the power when I watched Super Mario Galaxy. Fighting the power. Yeah, fuck that, man. I never trusted the Angel Studio shit, and it's like, oh, we got a David movie, and I'm like, cool. Like, I love the line where it's like the animation. Jack Hibbs said, he goes, the animation rivals Pixar, and I'm like, maybe Pixar now. Like, I don't think Pixar 20 years ago. This doesn't look like it's rivaling WALL-E. I'm sorry to tell you. I don't know. I would love to see like actual Christian films made by real artists, not people who want to make something important.
I mean, to a certain extent, every filmmaker, every story maker, they want their film to be something important. Of course, that kind of falls into the whole nonsense. Like Movie Bob was notorious for this. He was basically saying that every movie was like a cultural focal point, and this is one of the reasons he laments the fact that Scott Pilgrim underperformed next to Expendables.
Yeah, I never liked Scott Pilgrim though. I gotta admit, I never liked it. I watched it when it came on video, and I'm like, I'm not feeling it. I don't know, man. That humor did not connect with me. Like literally to the point where I wasn't even sure what was supposed to be funny sometimes. It was one of like, I'm just not getting it. Like it's not even like I don't think it's funny. I'm literally like, where's the joke? I don't even see where the joke is. I'm not even trying to be a dick. This is just clearly just out of sync with me. I think I was with a girlfriend at the time and we were watching it, and like a pizza we had ordered came, and like after the pizza, it's like, what do you want to do now? It's like, I guess we could finish watching that movie. And I was kind of like, I don't really want to. And she's like, oh my God. She wouldn't feel it either. I don't know. I understand you want to make something important, but also like you need to make something entertaining. That's got to be your fucking first. That's got to be the first goal. Like, it doesn't matter if it's important, if it's not entertaining. It really doesn't. Doesn't matter what you have to say if people aren't going to listen. Like, so Ted Turner died. Did you see that?
Really?
Yeah, Ted Turner died. I think this morning it was announced.
Oh, geez. How about that?
It was in his 80s. I don't know, man. That's one of those. I didn't even feel a hardcore desire to, like, a lot of these times these elite motherfuckers die, and I'm like, absolutely press S to spit on his grave. But, like, I never really felt that entirely with Ted Turner. I don't like he was probably a shitbag, but just compared to a lot of other of his contemporaries, he seemed not that fucking bad.
Yeah,
his worst sin was forcing Captain Planet to be on every fucking channel when I was a kid.
Right.
Owning half the fucking channels and putting Captain Planet on all of them was the worst thing he ever did to me.
Let's see. What's the worst thing? Let's see. I wonder if Grok can tell us this. What's the worst thing he's ever done?
Worst thing? It's just going to be Captain Planet.
That'd be funny. Because I mean, the only thing I know about him is a joke is on Family Guy, where he once said, "I've done something wonderful, everyone. I've colorized the moon." And then the joke where he's a petty petulant loser who just, oh yeah,
oh God, remember in The Critic, his boss was based on Ted Turner.
Oh yeah.
Duke is his boss, because Ted Turner was he was some old Southern good old boy that came into money, if I'm not mistaken. Or at least that's how he projected himself.
The first scene we see him in, he's talking to a reporter. Jeff, you're rich, you're successful, you were great in bed last night. What do you have any regrets? I have no one to envy. I envy you having me to envy.
The Critic ruled. God, that show ruled. That's so ahead of its time too. The Critic struggled to get like 2 seasons too, but God, it was so good.
Good show.
It had to go over to Fox. It was originally on ABC, and then it went to Fox.
Mm-hmm.
The last season, they added a girlfriend for him, which I kind of thought was a good add to the show.
Yeah, nice girl. She was nice. I remember she was a nice girl, like country girl. I
can't remember that actress, but that actress did a ton of like Southern characters.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was Bunny Rabbit in the Sonic cartoon.
Let's see. Here it is. Controversial statements and gaffes. Turner frequently sparked backlash on impulse remarks. He said he called Christians Jesus freaks and losers as an atheist, later apologizing. 9/11 comments shortly after the attacks. He described the hijackers as brave, drawing in widespread outrage.
Okay, so I'm gonna. All right. The first one, I say this as a Christian. A lot of Christians have that coming. I get it, man. I get it. Especially if you're on the national stage. It's like the only Christians you interact with are probably like Jerry Falwell.
Oh no!
Like I get it, Ted. I feel I understand where you're coming from on that one. I'm gonna admit it. The other one, like the hijackers were brave. I mean, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Like throwing your life down for a cause is by definition brave.
I don't know if this is true. Like he once suggested in a speech that underemployed black people could haul mobile missiles with ropes, quote, like the Egyptians building the pyramids.
See, he's just throwing out ideas. I don't know. I think Ted Turner did nothing wrong. I think we're on team Ted Turner over here.
Oh no,
he's getting pretty based. It sounds like.
It's like this. He accused Israel of terrorism against Palestinians.
I'm gonna put some flowers on his grave. He's just about made up for Captain Planet.
He compared his rival Fox News owner Murdoch to Adolf Hitler.
Okay, well that's a little cringe. All right, you had me, then you lost me, Dad. You had me, then you lost me. Okay?
See. Turner was a strong advocate of reducing global population and drew a sharp criticism. He reportedly said that a total world population of 250 to 300 million, a 95% decline from current levels, would be ideal.
Okay, well, I don't know, man. That's maybe a little low, but I'm still feeling him a little bit.
Oh yeah, he supported one-child policies and tied overpopulation issues like issues like Christianity. Argued it valued people over animals. Critics viewed this as an ecological, echoing eugenicist or elitist environmentalism from a billionaire.
Okay, well, I'm not on board with the solutions he's proposing. There are way too many fucking people. I'm sorry.
He's occasionally base, I guess.
Yeah, he's right on that. All right, like He's right on that. We're Team Ted so far. Like,
Yo, you're Team Ted. I'm not. I'm not
I'm
endorsing.
Team Ted. I'm unapologetically Team Ted. Rest in peace.
I'm just a recurring sidekick. I have nothing to do with this.
You were too good for this world, Ted Turner.
Oh, let's see.
We're Team Ted here. I'm just changing the name of this when we're done.
Oh, this is what it
R.I.P.
came
Ted.
from. Okay. Oh, he was criticized for adding color to classic black and white movies to appeal to younger audiences.
See, I'm not opposed to that as long as you're not erasing the originals. I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that as long as you're still preserving the originals. Like, I don't know. It's a fresh coat of paint on something. Give like, I don't know. I'm not opposed to that. And sometimes they look good, sometimes they didn't. I remember some of them ones he colorized. Sometimes they looked fucking terrible.
And of course, he has the typical.
It's not like it's not like it's a single painting he was painting over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's taking copies of movies and changing.
Yeah. Oh, and of course, there's his environmental hypocrisy. Of course, like owning dozens of homes, utilizing private jets, and lavish lifestyle while preaching planetary salvation. So typical environmentalist nonsense.
Yeah, it's the rules for me, not for thee. But mostly, I'm Team Ted. I think he's won me over, Luke. I think he's won me over. There's too many fucking people. Now, see, if he went really based and he's like, yeah, especially in Africa and India, too many fucking people. I'd be like, God damn, yeah, hell yeah, Ted. All right, well, we're done talking about nerd shit. I'm going to bring John Steele on because he doesn't like when we talk about nerd shit, but we can talk about politics now. So, John Steele. Hey, John, how's it going?
Am I on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're on. You're on.
Unclear.
We're done talking about nerd shit. We're going to talk about big boy politics now.
No, I'm not really. I was actually, had a lot going on. Because I think wasn't on. I haven't spoken to you in 2 weeks now.
It might have been. I don't know. Yeah, I think last week you weren't on.
No, I was kind of excited because I want to mention I'm seeing someone right now, a girl, and she's quite a bit younger than me, and I'm a little. I'm not sure how the Christian church feels about this age and compatibility, but just you guys know I'm not a Christian. I'm not saying that to fuck with you. I'm just
I don't mind it at all.
Well, I know. Yeah. Well, Chris, you have some Howie.
I don't go quite as far as Razor Fist in how I like it. But
well, yeah, but well, I think it would be safe to say you have some very libertine sexual interests.
I might. I was going Team Ted Turner here recently. I'm not in. I'm not in line with a lot of Christians.
No, I'm just saying like the age difference. Like I'm having a little bit of a challenge with because it's kind of odd. Like like when I have to drive her to school and drop her off in the morning. Like that is a little weird, strange. But other than that, it's going really well.
I just hope the 8th grade's going good for her.
Yeah, well,
it's a rough time in a person's life.
Yeah, it's an important time, and I just want to be there for her, and help structure her. So I'm doing that,
I love that one joke where it's like, I just turned 40. Is it still okay for me to date college girls? And the guy goes, not just yet. I'd stick to the high school girls for a few more years. 45, 50, you can move on up. Why rush things?
Yeah, do you guys remember the movie Revenge of the Nerds?
Yeah, good God, there was like 5 of them too.
I'm sorry?
There was like 5 sequels to that thing too.
Oh yeah, no, forget the sequels. I'm talking about the original. But there's this really funny scene when they were having to throw a party at their fraternity, like their wannabe fraternity, but none of them could get dates, and they said to they were all like the one guy that had date was like the gay black dude, and they were like, does anybody have dates? And he's like, well, I do, and Booger's like, yeah, but that's what a guy. And then they were like, well, what about you, Booger? He goes, I've been out combing the high schools all day.
The dude who plays Booger does so much voice work. It's amazing how many times I see him pop up and shit. Like he was a great character actor for a long time.
Oh yeah, well, there's a scene in that film where when they were trying to find a place to rent, I don't know how well you guys remember the scene, where he has to talk to a guy through a mail slot.
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember this? Like, who are what do you want? Why are you here? Fuck off, go away.
Yeah, I need to rewatch that scene. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was actually.
I should rewatch that. I think one night I'm going to sit down and rewatch all of them just to see how the
No,
sequels are.
I think. Well, I don't.
Oh, I'm sure they're not great, but I'm just curious.
Well, no, but that's the thing. I think you were talking. Well, you're talking about prequels and sequels and whatever. The thing about Revenge of Nerds is it was. How do I say this? It was kind of a unique story. Like, I mean, I can't. I mean, it was kind of a almost in a way like a healthy, life affirming story where these nerds actually transcended their nerdism and became healthy, functioning, young adults. You know what I mean?
I'm a big fan of those kind of raunchy, like coming of age comedies, and we don't really do those enough anymore.
I can't remember if I'm misremembering the ending. Is the sequel where they get stuck on a deserted island, they come back before graduation?
Well, that might be a sequel. Well,
yeah, because
let's just stick to the original primary source.
Because that's the only
the
one.
Sequels ended up like directed TV at some point.
Yeah, I only remember the ending from one of the sequels because one of the jocks, like after kicking them off and strangling them on the island, they nerds of course make it back just in time, and the jock is still standing over him, like, well, what are you going to do about?
Let's not go to talk about the sequels.
And the nerd just punches him in the face and knocks him out.
Yeah, silliness. But the original that the sequels were just because they were trying to make money off the original, which I don't think there was a lot of money put into the original, which is good. It showed that it actually worked because it was story driven and not based on big name actors or anything in there. And I think at the time it was. It was somewhat innocent. It wasn't like a film like Porky's or anything like that was graphic sexually. So I think it was like, even like for Christians like you guys, I think it was somewhat maybe wholesome is too strong of a word, but I think it did have the values of Christianity in there.
I was
never overcoming struggles and like the little guy will triumph and also like there is the like at least at the ending scene where there's a scene where people realize that you have to stick up for the underdog. Like there is something in humanity that says that, like, well, maybe it's, not my business but still, no, I'm stepping in. Like, this is too far. Even though it's not my fight, I'm going to say, stop.
I never got into Porky's. There's a lot of those I watched from that time. Like when I kind of came of age, I'd watch a lot of the little before my time ones, but Porky's was one of those where it's like, it just felt like there was a few great scenes in Porky's, and then kind of the rest was meh.
Right. I don't think anyone thought Porky's was a great movie, but the only reason I mentioned it is because it is kind of the encapsulation of kind of the raunchiness of that era, which I don't necessarily think that was a good scene. I mean, like, yeah, it was good for a like a one-time laugh, but I mean, Porky's is not necessarily something you rewatch unless you're into like smoking pot, like a Mystery Science Theater kind of. No, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't hold up like an Animal House or a Caddyshack or something.
Right,
Like
exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, it was just like what it was, and but like to be honest, I haven't seen Revenge of the Nerds in a very, very long time. But the original, like for anyone listening, or if you have never seen it or haven't seen it so long that you don't remember it, it's really worth the watch. I mean, I think it goes into. I think it was a good film. I think the values that it was trying to portray were actually good. Like the downtrodden actually rising up, meeting a challenge and overcoming it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this was 1984, so yeah, of course it would have that.
I'm sorry.
Okay. It came out in 1984, so of course it would have that kind of stuff.
I just looked it up real quick. Revenge of the Nerds right now is on Amazon Prime if you have it, and it looks like it's still on Netflix. So people are looking for where to watch it right now because you can't find DVDs and Blu-rays anymore.
No. But anyway, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember the film, but and also there was a lot of really good humor in it as well, right? So like Chris, you were talking about how you don't want people saying you need to watch this movie or whatever, or someone preaching at you. It's like, no, I'll enjoy a movie or I won't. And a lot of films, you just take them for what they are, right? Like it's not like a message or some overreaching greater global truth. It's like, well, did I enjoy it or did I not? Sometimes that's all you want in a film. Sometimes you want a movie that is, gives you like some perhaps deeper insight into humanity, or maybe your relationship with, for you guys Christians, maybe a movie that would make you think about your personal relationship with God. Films can do that.
Oh yeah, I'm not dismissing the higher films. It's just more I'm suspicious when somebody comes to me and they're like, "You got to watch this because it's important," and I'm like, "Okay, but is it entertaining?" Like it doesn't have to be entertaining in a jingle my keys at me kind of way, but is it engaging? Or like some people will market these movies as like you got to watch it because that you watching it sends a message or owns your enemies or whatever dumb shit like that. Like the left is notorious for this, by the way. That's all the woke shit that the left had been pushing in the last several years was like, you got to go watch lesbian black Ghostbusters because it'll own the chuds.
Ugh.
And it's like, you don't even like it. You're just sitting there pretending to like it because you think people that you don't like will be mad about it. That's a terrible way to approach film.
I agree. I have a friend of mine that's because currently we have something in Seattle. There's something called the Seattle International Film Festival. They call it SIFF here. And I have a buddy of mine that's really into cinema and stuff. I remember having a conversation with him. It was about 2 years ago, and they were beating down, like in I don't know the circles he hangs on. He's a real cinephile. But there was some movie that was done by like a black lesbian as a director, and they were saying that like, oh, you need to see this film because it's a black lesbian director. And he had this really funny comeback. He's like, what the fuck does that have to do with how good the film is? Like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if it was made by a fucking Martian transsexual. I mean, if the movie's good, I don't give a shit about that.
It was a porno. It was two hot black chicks scissoring.
I have no
it's
idea.
really important. You gotta do this.
No, we know for a fact that leftists can't even make pornography correctly. We all know that.
They can't even do that anymore, probably. It's too problematic.
Who is this? Who'd you say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we these people couldn't even make pornography properly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, leftists can't even do that anymore.
Like,
it's too problematic.
Well, I mean, if the guy was on top, like, wouldn't that be seen as sign as a patriarchy or something? I don't know.
If he's on top, it's sign of the patriarchy. If he's underneath, then it's sign of weakness and inferiority.
Yeah, I mean, they'd find something to critique about it. I mean, I guess
if he's underneath, he's making the woman do all the work. He's aggressive.
Yes, that was good, Chris. That was good. You gotta put that line.
Look at this: the man taking credit for the woman's hard work.
I can imagine, like, you could go into like ChatGPT and like make that argument of like the woman orgasms, like she's on top and she's orgasm, and it's like the man, like, forced her to orgasm, to making her do all the work or something like that. And they would write this long exposition of, how this is an extension of the patriarchy, invading the bedroom where the man isn't forcing the women to work instead of, something like that. You think I'm kidding? Try it.
Speaking of making the women work, I saw this fascinating little video that suggested that like the whole notion that men were doing all the menial labor is a psyop, because all of human history until relatively recently, women did all the menial labor while men did the social climbing labor.
That's right. We were putting them bitches to work. Sending them out there. You got my money?
Wait, hold on a second, Autistic. You're saying that they're arguing that men, you mean like back in like, hundreds of years ago or thousands of years ago, men were...
Well, historically speaking, women have always done the menial labor because the social dynamic was the women would be at the home doing the menial stuff. And she wasn't just doing that stuff. She was doing anything. Like she was cobbling, farming. Like, for example, until the plow was used regularly on farms, women did all the farming because they didn't need the strong horse to pull the plow.
Yeah, but we didn't have. This leaves out the fact that we didn't have. We were hunter gatherers, so we didn't have, what they call modern agriculture.
Yeah, but I was originally told that women invented agriculture, but we're also ignoring that before agriculture, women were also hunting and gathering. Like if they saw a rabbit, they would kill it for meat.
They may have, but women. What's interesting? I know. Sorry to take a sidestep on this, but. They were talking about the evolutionary differences between men and women. And one thing they found out is women, and I've observed this in my own life. I know it's anecdotal, but I don't know if you've ever been around women like who are around like young children. They have this ability to keep track of them almost like this, like some sort of like scientific 3D radar where they know where they are. Like if you ask a guy to keep track of, like, men are very good at give them one task and they're good at it. Do this, the hunter eyes, the focusing. Like they even have studies about how women, like this weird thing, like women have better peripheral vision than men. And the theory is, and there's no way to prove this, right? But the theory is that it's because women had to keep track of kids. I'm not kidding. Like there's no way to prove this, right? But the idea that the fact that it exists is true. Why it exists is up to subjective interpretation. And I've noticed this around women. Like if you ask like a guy like keep track of multiple kids in a situation, like you're walking through like a grocery store and like with 5 kids or something, and like try to keep track of them, like by the end of it you're having a nervous breakdown.
When I'm around my friends' kids, I feel that anxiety. Like I can't keep track of these kids.
Right. But and what's worse about it is that you feel like you have a duty to at least not to protect them in case they do something stupid, like stick a finger in a socket, right? So that heightens the anxiety. Like you feel some responsibility. But like women like do this kind of like casually. Like I mean, just anecdotally, I noticed this, that they have this ability to kind of know what they're doing. Know where the kids are, and if they're getting up to mischief or something. And like
I think that's why men are much more structured when they're taking care of kids. I mean, that movie Kindergarten Cop is like an exaggeration of that. But there's truth in that. That's why it's funny, because as soon as the man's in charge, everybody's marching around and there's like an order and structure to everything, because you can't have them all, like you can't keep track of them otherwise. It's like I got to keep you all in line or I'm gonna lose like 4 or 5 of you each day
by my own hand, I might add.
Yeah, maybe by my own hand. But like one of the scenes where he's like, "There's no more going to the bathroom. There is no bathroom."
One of my favorite lines in that movie was when I don't know if you remember the plot of the movie, but the reason that he has to become the teacher was that his FBI partner got food poisoning. Who was a woman,
had like the flu or something like that.
Right, and she was actually a teacher. Like she had training as a teacher, so that's why their cover worked. And then she gets food poisoning, and he has to become the teacher, and he doesn't know what he's doing. And he's completely, and he's like tough guy, Arnold Schwarzenegger. But the kids, what makes the movie funny is he's this tough guy, but the kids beat the shit out of him, like metaphor.
There was a whole subgenre of like take an action star and just have a bunch of kids annoy him. Like Kindergarten Cop is probably the best of those movies, but in the 80s and 90s, there was a whole subgenre of that where it's like tough action star has to deal with annoying children. Yeah, which is admittedly a great formula. Like there's a lot you can do with that.
No, it actually worked, because I'm not a big Schwarzenegger fan. I mean, you guys were talking about, I think you briefly mentioned Predator, the first one, which is a great film. But just let me get back. Just let me finish my thought on the Kindergarten Cop thing. There was this one really funny scene where like he has all the kids in front of him, and he's just emotionally just drained, and he closes his eye and he's like rubbing his temples. And the kid's like, "What's the matter?" He goes, "I have a headache." And the kid goes, "Maybe it's a tumor." The kid's like, "It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor." It was just really, I don't know. That was another good movie. And I thought that was like a better Innocent Time, because I think that movie was also kind of, life affirming in a way, because it turns out it was a mother who was running away to protect her child from she had been involved with a criminal. I don't remember all the details of it. I haven't seen it in like ages, but it was a good
there's one scene where there was like an abusive dad and he just beats the shit out of him.
No, that's the point, is he didn't really beat the shit out of him. He hit him once. And I forget the woman that played the principal in that movie. She's that little dwarf thingy, very unattractive woman. I mean, empirically speaking. And he's going to hit him again, because Arnold Schwarzenegger is a big freaking guy. And he hit him once, and then he's about to hit him again, and he just looks at him and goes, "You're not worth it." And it was true, because like this is a guy that like beats kids. So like I mean, if you beat you beat your own kid, I mean, you're just a fucking scumbag.
And also the mother was involved too. Like the criminal's mother was interested in like taking the kid back for some reason. Like she was it was kind of like that. She was kind of sadistic.
I love when that scene when they first have the fire drill and he doesn't even understand that it's a drill. It's really a fire. So he's like scrambling and he's got all these kids and he's like carrying some kids. He's got like the class ferret in his hand and shit. And he's scrambling out the door and all these kids.
He thought it was like he thought the building was on fire, so he's grabbing
just like
he grabs like the cat, like the class pet or something. It's like, come on, we gotta go.
Oh,
The kids are all scared and shit.
just like the Simpsons episode. It says, Smithers, what's the average time for an evacuation of an entire plant? About 50, 5 minutes, sir. How long are we going? I don't know. This stopwatch only goes up to 35 minutes.
Scene in The Simpsons where like Willie is, when the school has like a fire or whatever, Willie's running back into school. He's going, I gotta save the wee turtles. And he runs and he comes out of that room and all these like snappy turtles are like latched onto him. He's like, save me from the wee turtles. Oh man.
Oh, one thing I wanted to mention to you, Chris. Guys, I just completed the first draft of my first novel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, what's the genre?
I guess it's a spy. Well, not a spy. It's well, I don't know how much. Well, maybe ask me a more specific question. Like, it's a guy who is had been working for 2 decades plus as a mercenary. You know, the guys that like the Blackwater types. You know, like in Iraq, and well, I mean, they were everywhere now, right? So it's a guy that is had been doing that for a long time. And then he gets an offer to do a job and his primary weapon was a sniper. So as a sniper, that's pretty much what he worked as, because that was what he was trained. Like when he worked as a merc, he was a sniper. He did like a lot of counter sniping, covering. There's a lot of things that snipers do. It's not just shooting people. It's also covering guys on the ground and stuff like this. I mean, you can read about it. I did some research into it. Anyway, he'd been doing that for like 2 decades, and he gets an offer to take someone out, but it's the first time he's given an offer of a job that's not in a war zone. So he's like taking out political leaders, but it was always like, were they really leaders or just warlords? You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like it was, and this is a situation where it takes place in London, and he's contracted to do, I guess you could call it the first like real assassination, where it's not happening in an area where there is no rule of law. Does that make sense at all? Or was it?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just the initial premise, but like the background of the character, I'd been working on this idea for a long time. Was what happened to the character was when he was a kid, he grew up in Northern Ireland, and he was kind of recruited by the not recruited is probably too strong a word. When he's like in his late teens, he ends up like working for the IRA. And it's a long story. I won't bore you guys with it, but not doing like really serious stuff, but because he was like in his late teens, like he could do like surveillance for them in like a way like people wouldn't notice him. Like they would just say to him, like his name is Declan in the novel, and they would just say like, just tell us what this guy does. You can hang out and pretend you're playing fucking soccer or something or whatever, and just it starts out like that, little things, running messages back and forth. You know what I mean, like that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then like over the years, by the time he's like 18, he kind of, because the thing about like the IRA, and this is taking place in the 90s, was there was no like formal initiation. Like you don't have a boot camp for it. You know what I mean?
You don't have cards.
Right, exactly. Right. So like you're not a card carrying member of like a fucking terrorist group, and like I don't know how much you guys probably don't know a lot about this, but like like in 1998, there was something called the Good Friday Accord or the Good Friday Agreement, where the IRA and the British government they came to this. The IRA turned in all their weapons, and the British took down their guard towers in Belfast. Like I don't know if you remember this, but or you probably were too young. But anyway, like that was a real thing that happened. So like the way I do the novels, like there's flashbacks, right? So you're having this guy who's like in his late 40s. Who is now working as a merc, and well, it opens up he's actually not even a merc; he's literally an assassin at this point, or is about to become one. And through flashbacks, I show about like how did this guy become who he was, and what happened was he was a very young man. I mean, a teenager when the IRA thing, when he got, how do I say, involved in it, and then, but it's right at the time where the Sinn Féin, the political wing of the IRA, they want to. The provos become very inconvenient for them, right? Because it turns out that the provos were always looked at the Sinn Féin, the political wing, always looked at the provos as just useful idiots. And now that they see that they can get legitimate political power, the provisional IRA becomes something that they want to get rid of. So the group, and specifically the group that Declan, my character, is a part of, is how do I say this, an inconvenient existence for the Sinn Féin. So it's not because they were necessarily more violent than any other cell, but there were some cells in there that the British government knew who they were and had a really strong idea of what they had done. So they just need to be eliminated.
You gonna self-publish that, or are you taking that to like New Ritual or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. What do you? Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I to be honest, I was just going over it about an hour before your show, and I guess self-publishing. I mean, I don't think. I mean, from what I understand about the publishing world now, you're probably best self-publishing it. I was just, because I had this idea thrown around in my head for a long time, because I don't know if I had told you this, Chris. My mother's side of the family was involved in the IRA.
I don't think you had, no.
I could have sworn I told you that, but it's okay. But yeah, I mean, not back in the day, like her uncle and her.
This was 3 weeks ago.
Way back. No, actually, no. It's a true story. So my do you say great uncle or grand? If you're talking about your grandfather's brother, is that a grand?
I think that's a grand uncle. Yeah,
or not a
grandfather. Yeah.
Well, anyway, so my grandfather and his brother, because I'm not sure what I call that, they both fought in the Easter Rising of 1916, and my grand uncle or great uncle actually died fighting alongside Michael Collins. Like, have you ever seen this film, Michael Collins, with what the fuck is that guy's name? The guy that played Abraham Lincoln in that horrible movie. The guy.
I think I've seen that. I just haven't.
Daniel Day-Lewis. Daniel Day-Lewis. Yeah, there's a film called In the Name of the Father with Daniel Day-Lewis. And no, I'm sorry. No, that's not the movie. The movie is with Liam Neeson, called Michael Collins. And so my granduncle fought alongside Michael Collins. There was an Easter Rising in 1916 where the IRA rose up and they got slaughtered, and they literally were the federal building. They were all held up. They were completely surrounded, and they fought in the federal building, but they ran out of ammunition, so they were forced to surrender. But my granduncle actually was killed that day. Yeah, Thomas Clark. And anyway, yeah. So it's funny. My mom kept that hidden from me until I was about, not like hidden from me. She just never talked about it. And then when I was in New York City, when I was like 21 or 22, I met a provo or an ex-provo that was working as a bartender, and we started talking, and he found out that my parents were born in Ireland and stuff like that, and we got to know each other over a couple of months. It was right before I moved out of New York and moved to Seattle, and he was asking me questions about, like, what's your want to know my mother's maiden name, where she was from, and I thought, I won't tell publicly what that is here because we're alive, but
yeah, what's your social security number too?
Right, exactly, right. And then I told him all this stuff, and I remember, like, he goes, and then I told him who my granduncle was, and he goes, do you have any idea who that is? And I was like, no, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he told me the story. Like, this guy was a fucking martyr to the cause. So, like, to this guy, it's pretty wild, actually.
Well, we've gone on for about an hour, and I do got some other stuff I got to do. Hey, Luke, can you check? Is the Strait open yet?
It's ambiguous.
Okay.
Well, hold on a second. Did anyone say that it was opened?
I've heard over and over again, back and forth. Honestly, Like every day I hear we got it open, but now it's closed again. But now we're closing it. But
Well, no, it's not. Even if it is quote unquote opened, there's not going to be any civilian vessels or merchant, whatever you want to call them, go through there because they can't be insured.
no, not especially if it's opening and closing every damn day.
Right.
You know.
So even if they say it's opened, it's like, well, yeah, like it's open, like in theory, but not practice. Because if you try to cross it, like it's probably in your, I don't know how they would write the insurance policy, but it's, it's probably like if you, I mean, it's kind of like, life insurance, like the clause is null and denied.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm an insurance company, I'm like, you take your boat through there, you're on your own. Like,
yeah, like don't life insurance policies have something to the effect of you commit suicide, we don't pay out?
Yeah, don't purposely wander into a war zone.
Yeah, or some maybe even more gentle phrasing than that. But I mean, so I'm guessing that like even if it is quote unquote open, that I don't know how long it takes to transgress the strait, but maybe they're saying like if you get attacked so many thousand meters on either side of it, you're still covered. But I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be a while before that whole thing resolves itself. But it just every day I got to hear like, oh my gosh, it's open, it's closed, it's open, it's closed. It's like Bugs Bunny and Daffy pulling down the rabbit and duck signs. It's like,
oh yeah, duck season. Well, actually, one question I do have, because I tried to ask this to like ChatGPT, but the thing about Trump, like you can't have a war or a conflict go on for so many days without congressional approval. Here's a question that I have: like, when does that reset? Like when like. So, like, because the argument, like some people making online, like the reason that Trump stopped the attacks on Iran was because it was exceeding the War Powers Act? Or something?
I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, it feels like it's been forever since Congress has even declared any kind of war or something. I don't even know how much power the damn War Powers Act really has.
No, they don't have to declare war. Like it's what George Bush did, like before Afghanistan. He didn't ask for a declaration of war. He just asked for approval from Congress, and both houses gave it to him. So he did it like legally. So you're right in the sense that Congress is the only body that can quote unquote declare war. But from my understanding, that War Powers Act was something that happened because of Vietnam, because Vietnam basically LBJ just sent troops there en masse without ever declaring war.
It's not a war.
It was a police action, I think they called it.
We're doing a lot of war stuff, but it's not actually a war.
Right. There was not, like the United States hasn't declared war on any country since World War II.
Look, we just happen to be shooting missiles over there. If they get in the way of our missiles, that's
hey, I can't be held responsible, So.
Well, whether or not the Hormuz is actually open or closed, I have to close down, I have to disappear.
No problem, man. I'm going to wrap this stream up, too. I got a bunch of shit I got to do this evening.
Take care, man.
All right, everybody. I'm going to check real quick, see if we got any super chats, and then we'll wrap this up. Let me check. Hang on. I know, dead air. Very entertaining. All right. Doesn't look like we do. No problem. All right, chat. That's about it for tonight. I want to thank everybody for listening. It'll be same time next week, God willing. And
oh yeah, one thing we have to say goodbye, and there's something I have to tell you off air really quick.
All right, talk to you all later.
Are we off?
Give it a second.